I personally think it's the highest quality property in the world, and I think it will appreciate the best over time. And as I pointed out to you, it has performed the best in the past 2 years versus every other option. So we've been right over a 2-year time frame. I think we'll be right over a 4, 8, 10-year time frame. You know, you've got an entire world, media, analysts, politicians, financiers, and they're all starting to figure this out. But I still say we're early, right? This paradigm shift takes a decade.
With Bitcoin's successful growth over the years, many potential investors who are eyeing the asset have been feeling that it might be too late to invest in it since its price has been reaching newer and newer all-time highs. As of making this video, Bitcoin's price hovers around $69,000 and many analysts believe that it would not go to much lower levels anytime soon. But with remarkable developments such as the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission's approval of a spot Bitcoin ETF, and the approaching Bitcoin halving event, much evidence points to why it isn't too late to invest in this revolutionary asset. In fact, MicroStrategy CEO Michael Saylor swears that investing in Bitcoin is the wisest decision you could ever make. In an interview with Michael Saylor, the CEO asserts that Bitcoin has yet to reach a much greater height. With the upcoming halving expected this month of April, Michael Saylor's bullish outlook aligns with that of many other seasoned experts. All of them forecast Bitcoin's tremendous growth following the halving. Now, let's have a look at Michael Saylor, as he explains why it's not too late to be in Bitcoin and that the huge rise is actually still in front of us. Be sure to watch it right to the very end, as Michael Saylor elaborates on why Bitcoin may have the best potential compared to any other asset in traditional finance.
Ever feel like you're wasting your money on things that don't really matter? Stop. You don't have time. Don't miss out on this 2025 bull run. Educate yourself now. Don't spend $12.50 on junk. Educate yourself on how to be successful in crypto using our crypto cheat guide. Unlock the secrets of crypto and make smarter investments today. Visit the website now on the link in the description for your exclusive copy. Start your journey to crypto success today.
I think that the highlight in the past year is the institutional adoption of Bitcoin and the maturation of the asset class, along with the education of millions and millions of people as to why they might want digital property, what is a digital commodity, and what's its place in the macro economy. Now, to be clear, I still think we're very early. I personally think it's the highest quality property in the world, and I think it will appreciate the best over time. And as I pointed out to you, it has performed the best in the past 2 years versus every other option. So we've been right over a 2-year time frame. I think we'll be right over a 4, 8, 10-year time frame. What is Bitcoin? A digital commodity? Do I have to deal with that? Well, now Fidelity's talking about rolling out the 34 million retail accounts. You've got the government embracing crypto assets, saying we better figure it out. Congress, senators getting educated on it. The CFTC, the SEC getting educated on it. Big institutional investors starting to take Bitcoin positions. The media. Now you've got Bloomberg covering crypto. You've got CNBC covering crypto. You've got an entire world, media, analysts, politicians, financiers, and they're all starting to figure this out. But I still say we're early, right? This paradigm shift takes a decade. But, that phrase, there are decades when nothing happens and, weeks when decades happen. It really refers to paradigm shifts. And if you think about the paradigm shift when automobiles arrived, there's the famous snapshot in New York City where, there's just a bunch of horse and buggies, and 10 years later, it's all cars. And in that 10 years, you adopted it. So every decade, there's some profound paradigm shift. And the thing that hits you about a paradigm shift is it's such an out-of-the-blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. Now we're staring at this paradigm shift of digital energy, and why would I want to move a block of $1 billion of something from point A to point B through cyberspace in a split second with instant final settlement, right? Initially, if you roll the clock back a decade, we didn't have it. Every financial crisis we've had right, in the history of the world, and we've had 10,000 of them. There have been 10,000 currency collapses, from the Lydians to the Athenians to the Spartans to the Romans to the Venetians. The history is full of examples of an empire rises, someone mints a currency, the successors or the children of the conqueror debase the currency, the grandchildren debase it more, the great-grandchildren forget how they actually got the power, they spend everything, go wacky crazy, pretty soon the economy collapses, you can't pay your soldiers, they all defect, and the barbarians come over the gate and they take everything, including your debased gold, they melt it down, they purify it, they mint their own coin, and the cycle starts again. That's literally taken place 10,000 times. People don't trust governments, right? We're at an all-time low in public trust of institutions. It doesn't matter what government. And they don't trust companies. And why? For good reason, because companies are influenced by governments, right? Right? If you're in America, you're certainly not going to trust a company in China. And if you're in China, you're certainly not going to trust a company in America. And then, a lot of people that don't trust domestic companies, and the Europeans and the Australians don't trust American companies either. So there's a lot of lack of trust. So if I can't trust that, then what can I trust? Where am I going to put my money? I'm going to do a slight detour here, Brian, but this is very interesting that I want to share with your listeners, which is I track the financial markets since we embarked on our Bitcoin strategy. So here is what's happened since August 10th, 2020, when we adopted Bitcoin as a treasury reserve asset. Bitcoin is up 65%. MicroStrategy stock, and MicroStrategy's bought almost $4 billion, not quite, but nearly $4 billion of Bitcoin. MicroStrategy stock is up 66%. So we are tracking slightly ahead of Bitcoin. The S&P is up 14%. The NASDAQ is up 4%. Whoa, 4%. All of big tech is up 4%. Gold is down 18%. And, bonds, the ultra-safe bonds, long-term bonds, down 18%. So in terms of asset classes, the crazy, volatile Bitcoin is the best performing of all those major assets. And then you can say to yourself, well, I'm just going to invest in stocks. Okay, let's look at big tech. Google's up 37%, Apple's up 32%, Microsoft's up 16%, Amazon is down 22%, Facebook is down 45%, and Netflix is down 52%. Little MicroStrategy, no one ever heard of, up 66%. Would you have guessed that a mid-sized software company, low-growth mid-sized software company nobody ever heard of, would outperform Google in the last 2 years by a factor of 2? And so last point I make, we compete against companies 100 times as big as us. Oracle, 100 times bigger than us. They're up 25%, IBM's up 3%, Salesforce is down 23%, SAP's down 47%. Okay, so what is the lesson of that? The lesson is we're in the middle of chaos. There is no place to hide. Your choice is you could buy gold, but gold is dead metal and it's just getting ground into the dirt, right? I can seize your gold. Gold is the half-life of money, and gold is 35 years. And you can't put gold on 8 billion iPhones. So the problem is there's no tech in gold, and it was a good idea in the 19th century, and it's centralized, governments can seize it, and the gold miners keep debasing it. They keep mining more gold, right? In the best year, you get 2% more. In the worst year, someone seizes a bunch of gold, dump it on the market, you get more than 2%. So people are looking for a safe haven. What's it going to be? Property in Africa? Property in Venezuela? You can't have property in North Korea. Property in Argentina? A business? A business where? A business in Argentina where the currency collapses? What good are your cash flows if the currency that you generate the cash flows are collapses in value?
With all of that said, Michael Saylor believes that Bitcoin is positioned for significant growth, and that it would be unlike anything we've ever imagined. Which is why Saylor asserts that Bitcoin is still in its early stages and now is the perfect opportunity to invest in the asset before its inevitable surge. With that, Saylor also notes past year's standout moments, the institutional adoption of Bitcoin, the development of the asset class, and the growing education of millions of investors on the powerful value of digital property and its role in the macroeconomy. To Saylor, Bitcoin is, in fact, the greatest asset for store of value in today's world of economic uncertainty. Traditional currencies tend to collapse throughout history. This makes Bitcoin a wonderful hedge against economic challenges. Now that we've gone over Michael Saylor's views, here's a question for you. As the halving event approaches and anticipation builds, do you believe there's still room for significant upward movement in Bitcoin's price? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and found it insightful, be sure to give us a like, subscribe to our channel, and turn on post notifications for more similar content. Thanks for watching. We hope to see you on our next one.